Hi there. In this video I'm going to quickly add some HTML code to my HTML document to format the content that I have to look like a Word document. So in my WSDI files here that I downloaded and unpacked, I've got this Athena resume. So this is a sample of someone's resume as a web designer or front-end developer, commonly analogous terms. So we've got a profile here. I'm going to consider this to be the title of the document. So I'm going to call that the level 1 heading. This is a paragraph. And employment history, I'll make that a level 2 heading. So that's a subheading. I've got another paragraph, another paragraph, another paragraph, and then a bulleted list, which is known as an unordered list in HTML. Another couple of paragraphs, another unordered list, another couple of paragraphs. Now these paragraphs kind of look like they're not individual paragraphs. You could consider those to be one paragraph, but they have line breaks. So I'm just going to throw breaks in those paragraphs, every paragraph before my unordered list. And then I have another level 2 heading. By level 2, I don't mean the second heading on the page, but a subheading. This is just simply bulleted text in a paragraph. That's italicized text in a paragraph. So I'm going to open up my HTML document. So again, I'm going to be editing it with Notepad. That's not the best text editor to use, by the way. It just gives you plain text. There's no color coding, which may help you with error detection. So in later videos, we'll use a different piece of software. So I'm going to open up Notepad. So this is another way to edit an HTML document with Notepad. So previously, I found the HTML document via my file explorer, then I right-clicked and I chose open with Notepad. But this time I'm just going to open Notepad and choose file, open, and navigate to that location. So documents, websites, WSDI. And presently, I don't see that index.html because we're only seeing text documents. But if I choose this all documents here, or all files, you'll see it opens up there. Now when I double click on it, since I'm in the open dialog for Notepad, it opens up. So basically the way HTML code is used is we have the name of the tag within brackets, and the brackets aren't shift 0, shift 9. They're the greater than and less than symbols because they're not used very much in English. They're only used quite a bit in arithmetic, so we can use those as brackets. That's why they use them in HTML. Now, the simplest of all HTML tags, and the very first one we have to look at, is HTML. And the way these tags are used is we have an open tag and then a closing tag. So the open tag is where that appearance starts. The closing is where that appearance ends. And when I say appearance, I should actually use the word structure. So basically a section, where a section starts and where a section ends. So we need the entire document to be inside of the main section, which is HTML. So I'm just going to press enter before profile here. I'll use my up arrow, and I'm going to type in HTML in greater than and less than symbols, all lowercase. So that's our very first tag, HTML. Now I'm going to go to the end of the document and close that tag. So the close is the very same thing, but with a slash after the shift comma, which is the greater than symbol, or less, and I was getting mixed up. So I'm just going to go to the bottom of the document. You can use Control End to do that. And I'm going to go shift comma slash HTML. So that's a closing tag. So that tells the browser that that's the end of the document. Now the second tag we have to see is body. So basically, we will not see anything that's outside of the body. So I'm going to just click enter, or click before the profile there, press enter, and I'll have an open tag for body, and then a close tag for body. Now notice that we have HTML, then we have body, then we have the content for our body, then we close our body, and then we close the HTML. So that's known as nesting. So that's basically the order that we require for tags within tags, or sections within sections. The first section opens, the second section opens, we have the content, second section closes, first section closes. So basically we do not do this. I'm just going to show you what we do not do. That's incorrect. Now, I'm going to just quickly show you, this is a non-printing tag. This is known as a comment. So as you're learning coding, it helps to comment the code so that you know what you just added. So an HTML comment looks like this. It's a tag, then an exclamation mark, and then 2 dashes. And I'm going to say everything inside the body will be visible to the application user. Eventually these things will be applications, not just static documents. And then dash dash and close tag. So make sure you add these notes to yourself as you're learning HTML. And then it'll kind of help you clarify what each one of these things is for. So basically we have HTML, we have body. Again, this is, I mentioned this is going to be a level 1 heading. Actually, this is a profile, so I think that's a level 2 heading. So I'm going to say Athena's resume. I'm going to add some content in a level 1 heading. And a level 1 heading in HTML is H1, heading 1. So we have, I believe it's 7, H1 to 7, 1 being the largest, and then 2 through 7 being subheadings, sub-subheadings, all the way down to 7. Usually I don't think I've ever gone any further than H4. And then I'm going to close profile. Sorry, close H1 after profile. Now this next thing is a paragraph. Paragraph is simply the P. And I'm going to close paragraph after this paragraph. You notice that I'm putting all of my tags at the far left. So that H1, that should be an H2. I did the opposite of what I said. And I'm going to add an H1 for the title of the document. So I'll say Athena's resume. You can make it your own resume too. You can say Marcus's resume, for example. And then again, I close the H1. So these sections are adjacent to each other. They're not inside of each other. H1, however, is inside of the body. H2 is inside of the body. And I'll do this, basically I do the same thing throughout the document. So I'm going to quickly add an H2 here. Now, I mentioned that this next part could be a paragraph, one paragraph with line breaks within it. So I'll quickly show you how you do that. So you'll notice that all of our tags have an opening and closing tag. However, all of the tags we've seen so far. However, some tags are standalone tags. So that's the one we'll look at next. Okay, so this is the end of the paragraph here. But I want line breaks here. So this is a standalone tag, and the way we use a standalone tag is we just have it close within the tag. So there's a space and then a close, one space after the tag name. So that one means break. And I'll just put, I'm just going to copy and paste those. By the way, always best to just type everything out, and that's the end of it. No copying and pasting while you're learning coding. You should just type it all out. You'll make mistakes. Your code won't work. You'll find those mistakes and you'll fix your code. And then this one here is going to be an unordered list. So I noted, I mentioned that this is a bulleted list. So each one of these points gets a bullet in front of them. So it's an unordered list which is expressed with a UL. And then I'm going to close UL at the end of that. Now each list item gets an LI for list item. So it's LI, and then close LI, and then LI. Oops, not close yet. And then close LI. So I'm making mistakes and fixing them. I'm not editing them out in the video because you'll probably make common mistakes. So it's a good idea to see those mistakes in my video. That's what I'm trying to say. And then close LI. This video is getting long, so I'm going to quickly just do the same thing for all of this stuff and move on to the last part, which is those bolded and italicized paragraphs at the end. So I'm just going to quickly do exactly the same thing to the next 3 paragraphs and then scroll through so you can see what I've done. And then I will take care of that last section, and then we'll take a look at what this looks like in a browser. So I'm just going to pause the video and take care of the next couple of sections, and I'll come back in a second. Alrighty, so here's what I have so far. I have, again, level 2 heading, level 1 heading, which kind of serves as the title for the document. Then we have a paragraph. Each line has a break. The breaks are at the end of each line, by the way. And then I have an unordered list and each list item, so these ones will be in bullets. And I've done the same thing for the next 3 sections. Paragraph with breaks, unordered list with list items. Paragraph with breaks, unordered list with list items. This one is also an H2. And this is a paragraph. And I'm going to put breaks inside of that paragraph. I'll just copy and paste those breaks. Save a bit of time. You can right-click copy or edit copy, edit paste. All right, so these next pieces of text are going to be bold and italics. Bold and italics. That's simply a B tag. So this is still a structural code. It's not appearance. It looks like appearance, but a structure. Basically, these get emphasis. So italics is simply EM for emphasis. I need to show you how to actually take a look at this thing in a browser. We saw this previously, but I'll show you once again. There's a couple of ways to do it. You can actually just drag the file right onto your browser, or you can, if it's associated with a browser, the browser is the default application. You can just simply double click on it. And depending on the browser, there may be a file menu as well that's available. So I'm going to choose File, Save. And then I'm going to open it up in a browser. So I'm going to just go back to my File Explorer here. There it is there. I'm going to go to my documents. I'm going to go to my websites. I'm going to go to WSDI. There's the index. I can simply just double click on that. And now you see, let me just shrink that we have level 1 heading, level 2 heading, paragraph, level 2 heading, paragraph with line breaks, list items, same structure here, same structure there, another level 2 heading, bold, italic, bold, italic, bold, italic, paragraphs with breaks. So basically, we've got there's an additional line item here. So I probably opened an LI without closing it or something like that in my code. So I see that there's an error right there. Now, one little trick about the web is you can see all of this code right in your browser as well. So if I right click anywhere, I can see view page source. That'll actually show me the source. If you change it, it won't change this actual page. You have to change the original document, but you'll be able to see how it's created. So you can actually look at the code for every single website that exists. Sometimes people create that code, sometimes that code is created by another programming language like PHP or JavaScript. So I'm just going to minimize this. So I've got a mistake there. I'm going to fix it. So there's a particular workflow there. What you do is you go back to the original document, you change it, you save it, you go to the browser, and you refresh. Refresh is F5, save is Control S. So I'm going to go back to my notepad here. I'm going to look for my error, and it's a good thing I made that error so we can see this. There we go. There's a extra LI there, and I'm just going to backspace over it. Get the little star to indicate that it's not saved. So in real life I would go Control S, switch to my browser, and hit F5, but I'll go the long way. File, save, go back to my browser here, and refresh. And now we should have one less dot there. Good. Now, one thing we do have to look at here. Presently, you notice that the tab just says index.html. We want something a little bit more comprehensive than that. Usually I have the level 1 heading echoed in the tab name there. And what the tab name is a title of the document. So I'm going to go back to my notepad section, go right up to the very top, right before the body there. So this tag is adjacent to the body, and this is the title. So it's another section in the document alongside the body. And I'm just going to, my practice is to echo whatever's in H1. So I'm just going to type in Athena's resume. And I'll choose File, Save. Click back on my browser, refresh, and you notice that pops up in the title. So that doesn't appear in the body of the document. It only appears in the title. And search engines frequently use the title of a document as far as ranking is concerned. So that was, again, referring to a Word document for the structure and then copying that structure using HTML code. Again, we edited the code with Notepad, and then we opened our HTML document in our browser to see what we've done. We fixed our errors, saved the HTML document, and refreshed the HTML document in the browser. Thanks so much for watching.